que se puede, querer que se pueda, quitarse los miedos, sacarlos afuera, pintarse la cara.
Welcome back to Querer es Poder, where there's a will, there's a way. This is a show about inspiring, educating, and motivating young and not that young people here in Santa Clarita. And I'm going to pass the micro to Bill because we have very special guests
Yes,
today.
Patsy. Yes, Patsy. Today we have guesting on our show, Vanessa and Scott Wilk.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Well, we're glad to have you. Now, you know, I introduced you prior to the break as community leaders in Santa Clarita, and that you are. Vanessa, you have your own business here, and you're a member of Seroptimus International.
I am.
Good. Could you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Sure. About Seroptimus?
Sure.
I'm a proud member of Seroptimus International of Greater Santa Clarita Valley, where it's a great group. I know that you guys have, you were involved in our High Heel-a-thon.
High Heel-a-thon.
Oh, yeah.
We raise money to help women and girls in health crisis, and it's just a great. We've given done fundraisers for the hospital, for the Domestic Violence Center, for A-Team, which is an organization that teaches young girls about healthy relationships. So it's an awesome group, and I'm very proud to be a member.
And it was fun. I even convinced my husband. He was there. So it was a lot of fun.
It's great.
He was there. It's funny. Julio was there. He brought his high heels.
I love it.
But he didn't wear them.
He was like, I can't move with this.
We had some guys wear high heels, and some actually wore them around their neck because they said, I'm wearing high heels. So we said, that works. But
And you had Ed Bernstein that wore a skirt.
he was hilarious.
Okay, I draw the line.
Yes.
I thought he looked kind of cute.
He did a great job.
And your husband, Scott, was there.
He was there. We actually had a Team Wilk.
Yes, I remember.
And
Great T-shirts, too.
thank you. Our Got Wilk t-shirt. You know what's so funny? Because we always say, if there's a Wilk, there's a way.
Oh!
So you guys
That's
are
why
saying
you're
that.
here.
Yes.
We instilled that in our kids at a very early age.
Because they would say, we can't do it. And we'd say, if there's a Wilk, there's a way. So every time you guys say that, we keep looking at each other and laughing.
Outstanding.
Yes, that's
okay.
great. Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, Vanessa, we could talk to you forever.
Oh, thank you.
But your husband...
Go ahead. No.
No.
your husband would drive us crazy.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
no.
No. Scott, tell us a little bit about your growing up and your upbringing and...
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Southern California native. I was born and raised in Lancaster, and spent my first 20 years there. My goal, though, has always been to live in the Santa Clarita Valley. Even as a young person, I remember back then there wasn't the AV freeway, so when we went to LA, you had to take Sierra Highway, and coming back was always a treat because we would stop at St. George. St. George's Swedish smorgasbord, which is where Friendly Valley's at.
Oh my goodness, that was ancient history.
That was really ancient. Yeah, exactly. That's like my favorite thing to do. And then, of course, the onion fields. And then, when I was in junior high, Magic Mountain opened. So it was always a goal to get down here. And when we bought our first house, we couldn't quite afford to buy here because Vanessa was a stay-at-home mom until the kids went off to college. But our second home, we were able to be here, and we're just so thankful that we live in the Santa Clarita Valley.
And, now that you were talking about where there's a will, there's a way, I also got very happy and surprised when I saw the t-shirts got Wilk.
Yes.
I mean, you're very creative. Not only good people for the community, very creative. And
thank you.
So how did you get the idea with the milk
with
Wilk?
the
How did you
Got
put it
Wilk?
together?
Do you want to talk about
Well, what was interesting, we actually left California like 13 years ago to do a startup company in the Midwest. And we lived there like two weeks, and our daughter wanted to run for student council. We're going, honey, that's
fifth grade.
That's not how it works. You got to build relationships. No, I'm going to meet people by running for student council. So anyway, we did the Got Wilk campaign for her, and it was like a 5-person field. She took second, which is great for a kid who's lived there 2 weeks.
Sure.
But so when we were doing this campaign, 2 of our opponents have high name ID, and we frankly don't, because the district goes from Agua Dulce to Simi Valley. And one night, we were at a big event in Simi Valley, spent all night with this group of people, and they kept going, "What's your name? What's your name?" And on the drive home, Vanessa goes, "Hey, we've got to do the Got Wilk campaign. I mean, it's the only way people are going to remember your name." And I'm like going, "Honey, I'm a serious person. I'm not going to do that." And so she convinced me to do, we did these little palm cards, and we did the white mustache and everything. I go, "Well, okay, we'll do a small run. We'll hand them out like a beta test." And people are like going, they got it. So then we went full blast after that. And I think it was one of the things that really propelled us.
People loved it. They thought it was hilarious.
So I give her all credit for
She's
our
a
victory.
Promotional genius.
Absolutely.
There you go.
You know what? On many levels.
Right.
In terms of being creative, in terms of being positive, she lifted me up so many times. Particularly when you do a primary, it's always more personal. There's very little difference generally on issues, and it's generally people I mean, my opponents, I've known for a long time, friends with one of them, and it's emotionally retching, and she just lifted me up all the time.
Good.
Couldn't have done it without her.
Good. I should tell everybody that in June you won the Republican nomination to run for the state assembly.
Correct.
From our district, which
Yes.
it's a 38th
38.
district.
Yeah, the number stayed the same.
Yes. And in November you'll be running against a candidate of the Democratic Party.
Right.
And at that time the voters will decide whether you go to Sacramento or not.
Exactly.
Now, since I have you here, why should the voters vote for you?
Why should they vote for me? Because
Yes.
I'm committed to growing the economy. I mean, there's so many things that are just common sense to us that they don't do in Sacramento. Like we have this immense deficit, and then they vote to build the train to nowhere, which no one's going to ride. That's when it comes to full completion. It's going to cost $68 billion to build, which I believe will end up being higher, but $2 billion a year just to finance it. So I'm going to stop reckless spending. I'm going to hold the line on taxes. Right now we pay the second highest income tax and the highest sales tax in the country. If Governor Brown gets his way in November with his initiative, we'll be number one in both, which I don't think is a good thing. And then finally, reforming regulation. CEO Magazine came out about 6 weeks ago. For the 8th year in a row, California is the worst place in the nation to do business. And we can't grow the economy unless we reform regulation so entrepreneurs are willing to invest their time and their talent and their treasure into ventures, whether it's expanding their businesses or starting new ones. 2 out of every 3 jobs come from small business, and so we need to do all we can to foster that.
And I agree with you. I want to talk more. We can hold you over another segment, please?
Sure. Love it.
Okay, fantastic. So we're going to take a commercial, and then when we come back, I have lots of questions for you.
Great.
You're listening to your hometown station AM 1220 KHTS.